Okay, you got one, it kicked us off, but you have two people, Ben, Mater, and Donovan.
Donovan.
Thoughts of the second.
Okay. Hey, Ben. Your hard work. All right. How are things in the world of Road and Bridge Department?
Well, last week I was out, sounds like they got the one set of forms out of the shop and they put together another set of forms they're gonna work for the county. Today, actually, I think. Did a bunch of signing and then worked around the shop mainly with the weather. And then this week that water that was across the road there in that riverside, it froze over. So this week they're back up there, hauling out of there and running up to the VORs. That stuff. I think that's gonna be pretty good. This week I know the guys up west are working on those. And got, Lee's wing hatchback.
Oh, nice.
This deal with the Birch Creek. South. I talked to, or I got an email back from Karen with Maple and she pretty much said she cautioned the county about allowing anyone else to go in there and do that. So
Which makes sense.
essentially at this point, yes, Bill, to answer your question, the last time we met, we have to go through that process.
That's what Lexi had thought.
Yeah,
They say processes.
they will have to officially hear the arguments on both sides. I tried to print off a map before I came up here, but that Google Pro is weird the way it prints it off. I wanted to just kind of show where we're talking, but it didn't come up right, and I couldn't tell where I was going. So I'll work on that a little more, and we'll see. I talked to that. I think it's Ruben with the colony week before last. And I told him I was out last week, so I'm expecting him to get a hold of me at some point. And I want to have him come in and show me exactly. It's a goofy deal, and I guess I really don't understand why they want to go in the 3 or 4 miles. Because they've got a section right there on the South Rudyard.
Yeah. Yes.
So
They're right there at Hadford's.
I don't.
So they could put a road in all the way on their own property then?
Well, yeah, if they wanted to build a colony, they could build it right off of the South
Oh,
Rudyard.
yeah.
But
That's what they did when that colony moved in north of Rudyard. They built their own stuff. I don't think the county had anything to do with that.
right. Well, the issue is they're wanting to go further to the west,
Yeah.
which right now, I mean, it's on a section.
Yeah.
And they're wanting to go further to the west back in there. That's why they're wanting the road back in there. And it's kind of checkerboarded. When I looked at it, can't remember if it's a half section. I think it is a half section. On the south side that is state. And then there's a few more people, and I'm not sure exactly. They've got kind of a quarter section on the north side of the road.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, that wasn't where I was thinking they were gonna put the colony. I was thinking it was off on the south side, but I really don't understand why they have that little chunk
Right.
on the north side surrounded by, so anyway, I wanna talk to that Reuben a little more.
Sure.
Have him look at the maps with me. And
Yeah.
tell me exactly. And then but I mean, essentially what we're gonna have to do is go through the same
Yeah.
process. They'll have, they should, and at the end of the day, ultimately it'll come down to you guys
Right.
deciding.
Yeah, if there's anything I can do to help with that, I mean, that's my neck of the woods.
Right, well,
It's just south of our farm, and I used to help Hatfords with harvest and toners. They all kind of help in that area, so I know the area pretty well.
so, I don't know, I guess we'll just see what he has to say. You know what? Biggest issue, we got so much stuff to take care of now, that it's,
Yeah,
that's the hang up.
that's just it too. I mean,
And I'm trying to get that bid going on a backhoe. It's. I did talk to Landon, I sent him the stuff. He took a look at it. He sent me a couple. He came up with something, he sent it, so I was there.
Sure.
That one. And I guess finally Ray Tallenberger got a hold of Jimmy, and apparently he's got some ground just to the south of the turn. I mean, basically right across the fence. And we're gonna meet with him tomorrow and go out there and take a look. It sounds like he and Terry have maybe been talking back and forth and see if we can figure out the way. I mean, there's gonna have to be, but we were talking about permitting terms anyway,
yeah,
due to the 5 acre stuff. So I guess we'll meet with him and then I'm gonna get over that guy.
on. Well, we're going down third week in February to Mako. I'm sure Landon and Paul will be there. So, is Macker's coming up here pretty soon? Or am I,
Typically, in
is it March? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Typically.
Cool.
And I haven't gone, you know, we sent some guys down there. I would like to go. The biggest issue I got is probably
Yeah,
finding somebody to
yeah,
keep an eye on. Normally, if or it wasn't nice, or if it is nice, then they can.
right.
Short haired bulldogs, you
Oh, yeah, yep. Cool. Well, thank you. I haven't been to a Macker's since my first year.
know. Is that right?
But yeah, I wouldn't mind. Just do commissioners usually go to those things? Or is it-
Oh, I know they have in the past.
I wouldn't mind sitting in on a couple of the sessions. I don't
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it sounds like there's all kinds of kind of neat stuff.
right. I know those couple sessions I sat in on were very informational, so
Yeah.
sweet.
Other than that, I think that's pretty much all I got.
All right. Anything? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Elgin favor.
Elgin. Nice to meet you, sir. Jake
Nice to
Strissel.
meet
Still in there.
I'm not here to complain about anything. I just,
What? Why are you here? No.
my wife is a county commissioner and, I'm not doing that to you. But, I live 25 miles south of here, right down the southeast corner, kind of
Okay,
next to Blaine County. But we have a road through us. They call it Sucker Creek Road. I don't call it that because I think that's offensive, but yeah. And I have 3 auto gates. I call them auto gates, car paths.
oh, yeah,
What do you call them?
Cattle guard.
Cattle guard.
Yeah.
I have 3 cattle guards between me and Bill Bradbury.
uh-huh,
and I have one interior. And they're just built wrong. They're great for cars, but they're terrible for cattle.
Sure, sure.
And they're made out of channel iron, so they're flat. And in the wintertime, the snow comes down and sets on them really nice, covers them up, so the livestock can't see them. And cattle walk across. We just have cattle going everywhere. And if they do stick their foot through them, they're not forgiving at all because they're straight, you know, so a cow's foot goes in and then she tries to pull it out, she cuts it off. And we ourselves, you know, build our own auto gates, our own car passes out of pipe. Because snow doesn't typically lay on a pipe, you know, it hits the pipe and it falls off, or the car going across will shake it enough, it'll fall in.
Yep, yep.
So the cows come up there and the auto gate is, you know, they can see it. And if they do put their foot down on it, it's round, their foot gives a little bit, and the cow, if she's not sure about her footing, she won't try. Whereas a flat channel iron auto gate, you know. So I'd like to work with you guys to change those. I would donate half the material. I got oil field tubing. If you got, I talked to Mark, your blade hand, and he's build your own sometimes. I know when my uncle Leonard was a county commissioner, you built your own.
No, yeah.
Because he had the guys doing that in the winter when they weren't doing much.
Yeah, we build cattle guards for all of the county roads.
Right.
So, and then depending if someone wants one, then yeah, we'll go out, we'll put one in, but they have to pay for the cattle.
Okay.
And so that's how.
Is that that's on a county road?
Yes.
Well, you know, this year we haven't had issue with snow. Right? Last year.
Right.
We've had snow, but not like last.
Right.
So, you know, things have been better, but this is an emergency. This is not something that needs to be done right, but I would like to see us do something by next fall.
I will talk to my bridge guy. I know that they used to do them differently. And I don't recall, I think Jerry designed these. And if I'm not mistaken, I think for these cattle guards. So I'm gonna have to talk to Rex and find out exactly the history there. And
Well, at one time, Tiffany, didn't your husband make cattle guards for the county?
Yeah,
If I remember right.
and we had them drawn up by an engineering firm,
really
paid a lot of money. Yeah,
interesting.
and then they always ordered them through our shop.
Mhm.
And then one year the county couldn't afford it. So they came to the shop and said, can we build them this time for ourselves, just for this window, because we're broke?
Right.
And we said yes. And then they started building them themselves.
Do you,
And we have the blueprints. Gary went through an engineering firm for them.
well, where they are?
I'm sure Jason does.
Were they built out of tubing, or were they, you remember them?
I'd have to ask my husband. Out at Central
You just-
Machine and Welding.
You know, the Forest Service has a spec, and the top rails are like a pyramid. They're, you know, they make their own,
Hmm.
and the tops are like a pyramid. They're terrible. Because a cow steps into one of them,
Oh, sure.
she
Yeah.
cannot get her foot out.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, and we don't want anything like that. We
Right.
don't, and the channel iron
Right.
the snow is our biggest issue there. The cattle come up to that and that snow lays on there. They put their foot on that flat piece of iron and they're like, oh yeah, we can walk. And you start getting several going in, one falls through and then she's stuck. And the tubing, the pipe is the safest for livestock because if they run their foot through, it's the same on the bottom as the top. So they can pull it right out.
That makes sense.
And we have a pipe gate between us and Kinsella's and between us and Bradbury next to the schoolhouse. But the one on Clear Creek, the one on the Sucker Creek Divide, and the one interior, it says 3, yeah.
Mhm.
There's 3 that are channel iron I would like,
Yeah,
and I'll work with you. I mean, if it's supplies, I'll donate. I mean, however I can facilitate that, because I really would like that done by next winter.
The thing is, though, is when you start building cattle guards, you're taking business away from those businesses that do that for a living. So if you're building cattle guards for people, doesn't that take business away from people that build them? Like,
well, but the problem, I mean, we. Okay. Oh, sure.
I got a blade. You're taking business away from me. I could blade the road out there. I mean, we built it.
Yeah.
In 1951, we built the road. And, cause it used to be on the west side of the creek.
Mhm.
Now it's on the east side of the creek. And, my dad built that in 1951. But it's not a designated county road. It's a public road, which means there's no easement,
Mhm.
which means that the public drives on it, but they can't get off of it, you know? And we're happy with that. We're very happy with it. It's a great system.
Yeah.
And actually, the less you guys are out there, the better.
Right.
We don't need it bladed a lot.
Right.
It's a
right.
very good road. I mean, it's too good. People drive too fast.
Yeah.
And it's just a good road. There is one other thing that needs addressed, and that is the width of the road. So I took a picture this morning of a power pole that's in the road now, because the road just keeps getting wider. Nobody pulls the ditches in. Okay, because it's not fun
Mhm.
and it's not popular.
Well,
Because
and
it makes it rough for a little while.
you know, it does.
But what
Yeah,
happens is,
yeah.
you push snow off and you blade gravel. And you hear that complaint. I know you guys have. Oh, the gravel's all in ditches, you know? But in the summertime, when you blade the road, you're still doing the same thing. We're blading and we're making it wider and wider and wider. And this picture is in Bill Bradbury's, just across the fence into my place or into his place. But this power pole used to be 10 feet in the ditch. And now the blade has to almost go around it to get, because we're just keep making the road wider and wider. We're not pulling up and making it.
Just going out. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's fast, it's smooth when he's done, and it's not very labor intensive. I mean, it doesn't take much to do that. It's not fun to pull the ditches out.
Right.
But someday they have to be done.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Someday we gotta pull that gravel back up, and that sod's gonna be there, and you're gonna roll it around all summer.
Well, and some of a lot of the issue too is the amount of gravel that we have to work with, because you're gonna wanna gravel it when you pull it. We do pull stuff like we did. I mean, we do,
Oh, dang.
How far out is that?
Yeah.
That pole used to be about 10 feet in the ditch.
Wow.
And now the road has moved right out to the pole because we just keep widening, just keep blading.
Yeah. Yep. I got you.
yeah, and when you believe it, it does work. Just
I mean, how many years are we gonna keep doing it? I mean,
Mhm.
it just, the road now is 5 cars wide in places. That's really wide. It needs to be pulled back in, and that material that's on the edge could be put back on the road. But again, that's just an observation.
shouldn't.
Just making an observation, not playing or want somebody in trouble, but the AutoGate thing, I do. I want to work with you on that in the next 10 months.
Sure.
By November of next year, I'd like to.
I'll talk to Rex. I am curious to see if they can find that stuff.
And I know there's guys building them, because I sell them tubing. I mean, I know Boyce out here's building them. And,
Yeah.
and different ones, Swanky down in Harlem is building them. I sold him tubing, so.
Right. Yeah, no, I know there's a lot of guys that use that.
But if your guys are, the thing is, the AutoGates that are there are like new. So you're not gonna lose, I mean, them you can take somewhere where there's not a lot of cattle or a lot of snow.
Mhm.
You can move them up north, move them to Rudyard.
Right.
They'll work someplace where there's not a lot of snow, but where we're at up there,
Yeah,
it's just, you can't tell the road from the Alligate after a while. It's just, it's like where to go, you know, cause it just lays on that flat.
sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
okay, I'll look into that. Speed. But I know I've seen it on paper and I'm curious if Jason made.
Well, I have all the invoices too of what we used, material and everything.
That's what I'm most,
Is that what you want? Oh,
Curious
yeah, I can pull
about.
an invoice.
you know,
Cause you guys bought them all from us up until that one point, and then I think you went back and got a couple more, and then you guys started building them yourself
really, okay.
with our blueprints.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering is if that's what it is. Of course, that was way,
I know I speak for Jason.
yeah,
I'm pretty
that's
sure.
way before.
This is probably not the time to say this, but on your blueprint, there has to be a rub rail for your blade too. See, these auto gates you got do not have that.
What do you mean?
So we weld a snowplow, we weld a rail on out of sucker rod down each side and one down the middle. So when he comes up to the auto gate and he don't lift his blade high enough, you're still safe because he can go over it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you're
The auto gate tubings are running this way across the road. Well, we weld a rub, what we call a rub rail for the snowplow on each side and one down the middle. So if he gets up there and his blade isn't quite high enough, it rides over the auto gate. And I don't see that done. The one on Bradbury's and Kinsella's have that because it actually strengthens the auto gate. So the tubing is welded on the bottom and the top. And it's a
interesting.
Yeah. The sills you have out there are like, I mean, they're fine. I
Right.
don't know about your specs, your widths, if you'd have to change that, but
Right. Yeah, I know they've got a jig and when they're putting it together, so I'll talk to Rex about the, see what I can find out.
well, I think that, see, I wrote down a couple of things. I had a comment about the park. So there's a sign on Sucker Creek and one on Taylor Road that say cattle or, excuse me, says open range. Cattle at large. The sign has been up for 3 years and it's got a little rope and a pulley system so you can set it down, you know?
Oh, sure. Yep.
I don't know if someone needs to do better talking, but I mean, there's no cattle on the park 8 months out of the year.
There's not. No.
That's a lie.
Yep.
And if people, you know, it's kind of like driving by school and if the lights were blinking all the time, you'd think, man, there's kids here.
Mhm.
Well, on Sunday, there's not. There's no cows in the park right now. Them signs need to be down, but they've been up, I know, at least 3 years straight.
Yeah, and that, I think Chad,
Put them down.
no, that's not on.
I know it's
Chad-
not.
Yeah, I'll talk to Chad about that.
Tell him, you know, when people drive through who are maybe strange to the area or not familiar with the park, they may be like, oh my God, where, you know?
Yep.
And then the people who do live out there, they're so used to seeing it.
Right.
There is cattle on the park. They're like,
Yeah. And we do get cases every year of somebody smacking a bovine.
maybe if we took the signs down when there wasn't cattle and put them up when there was, maybe people would be like, oh yeah, they're, I'll bet.
Sure.
I'm just an observation again. I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Appreciate you letting me.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, Mr. Faber. Anything else for the greater good?
I
All
can't
right.
think of anything.
Good. Nope. And
Thank
thank
you.
you. Yeah. No, I didn't want to